In this video you'll learn how to configure the photo attachment widget to attach a single picture to a Mergin Maps form. In another video we've explained how to attach multiple photos to one feature using a gallery. For this example I've created a simple survey project. In order to add photos to your forms, you need to add a field for that through the attribute table. Let's do this in the layer properties. Go to editing mode and I add a new field. I give the name, for example, photos, and it's important to change the data type to text string. Toggle off editing and save it. Now go to the Attributes Form tab. Click the Photos field to configure the widget. Change the widget type to Attachment. Because the path to the photo file will be saved in the attribute table, the path needs to be relative to the project. In order to visualize the photo in QGIS, you need to change the integrated document viewer to the image type. Click OK to apply and close the dialog. After synchronizing the project, I can go to the mobile app and take a picture. You can either take a picture from your mobile phone or add it from the gallery. Save the form and synchronize. Back in QGIS we synchronize the project, and in the pop-up we see that a JPEG has been added. The point appears on the map, and if I use the Identify tool and switch it to Form View, I can see a pop-up with the picture. Photos are by default saved in the root of your project. To better organize your photos and to optionally activate Selective Sync, you can save the photos in a specific subfolder of your choice. To configure this, go back to the layer properties. Under the Attributes form, click again on Photos, and there under Path, you can change the default path with a data-defined override. Let's create a path. We use a variable for the project home folder. And in the preview you see the folder. And we add to that a custom string for the folder where the photos need to be stored. So in this case, /photos. Can be anything of your choice. In the preview, now you see the Mergin Maps project folder with the subfolder. Click OK to save and apply. Let's synchronize the project and check the effect. Back in the field we capture a new point and we take a new picture, save the result and synchronize it back to the cloud, and we synchronize our project in QGIS, and there we see that the photos are now stored in the subfolder photos that we configured. Let's have a look at some other settings for photos in Mergin Maps forms that you can set through the project properties. Go to the Mergin Maps tab. A first thing you could do is to enable Selective Sync. In this way, a surveyor only synchronizes their own photos instead of all photos from all surveyors. This works only when the photos are stored in a specific subfolder as we configured before. Here you can also configure the photo quality of the pictures taken through the mobile phone app. The pictures will be resized accordingly. By default the quality is set to original. The original pictures are stored. If you want to resize the pictures, you can choose from high, medium or low quality. The EXIF metadata of the original files are kept. We can also configure the file name of the photos. If you have multiple layers with photos, select the layer for which you want to configure the file name, and you do that in the expression builder. Here we're going to write an expression that will have the layer name added to the file name, then a dash, then a variable that will fill in the Mergin Maps username, then another dash, and then the date of capture in a specific format. So I use the format date function, and for the date and time I use the now function, which will have the current date and time of the capturing of the picture. And then I define the format. So I want the last two numbers of the year, I want the short version of the month, the day, and then hours, minutes and seconds. And in the preview now you can see how the file name will be formed for this picture. Click OK, and there also you see the preview below the expression. Click OK to apply and close the dialog. Let's synchronize the project and add another picture. Back in the field I've synchronized and I add another picture. Save the form and synchronize back to the cloud. Back in QGIS I synchronize the project, and there I can see the changes, and I see two pictures that I took from my own picture gallery and when I stored it, but one picture has been taken new, and that uses the new file naming convention. So in this video you've learned to add a photo attachment widget to your Mergin Maps forms. You've also learned to define a custom subfolder and file names for storing the photos. In addition, you have learned to enable selective sync and reduce photo quality for storing smaller files.